Hello and welcome. Here we are at stage 3 of No Compromise racing for the Ferrari FXXK. As you will see here in just a couple of seconds, I've already got 9 of 28 upgrades. You don't need that many right now, but I wanted to get some bot slowing in during the first 2 stages, and bot management, so I did that. And so that's all R dollar upgrades. I haven't spent any gold yet, just R dollars or race dollars or road collection dollars, because there's R dollars and M dollars. R is for road collection, M is for motorsports. So we're going to keep on doing bot management. I'm already below recommended PR, so I can't slow anything down, but I can keep the targets where they're at. And if you go see stage 1 and 2 there, you'll see there was a speed snap where I was able to substantially lower the targets, which is going to make the bots race slower. If you're not familiar with this applies to every single part of the game. It's part of the design. So when you start a stage, it's kind of set probably like low to medium level bot difficulty. And if you're having a lot of trouble, it's designed to make it easier on you. By the way, you might ask, what am I doing right now? I'm just having some fun, doing some pit maneuvers. I don't know. Why not? Oh, that was violent, wasn't it? Oh, that was really violent. I'm just having some fun because it's such an easy stage. It might not sound fun. I get kicks out of damaging multi-million-dollar cars. Not in real life, just virtually. Back to what I was saying. So a race will start, a series will start not too difficult. If you're really having trouble winning, like you keep finishing 4th place or lower, or like even 8th place or lower, it's going to get easier for you because they want you to keep playing the game, so it's going to get easier. Inversely, every time you win, it's going to get a little bit more difficult. If you win by a big amount, it's going to get even more difficult. Now, there's a maximum, of course, but eventually the game gets to the maximum difficulty. And that's fine in the regular parts of the game because a lot of races, you can't even enter them if you don't have enough upgrades. So this is a recommended PR event, and if you don't know what that means, I'll show you in the very next set of screens here. So I want to finish this race very close to the 2nd place bot, who I've got right behind me here. You can actually sometimes park and keep them trapped, but you got to be careful or they get around you. As soon as this race ends, I'm going to nail it into reverse because I want to stay very close to this guy, even get beside or behind him if I can. So you can see this here, and you can't get much closer than that. So that should keep the targets reasonable. Now, I'll show you what I mean about recommended PR here. Once we get to the loading screen, you'll see my PR on the right, and oh, the recommended PR is on the left, and it's green. So actually, I'm above recommended PR. So my PR is 84.7, recommended PR is 84.5. So what's the difference here? Oh, by the way, this is going to be fun. Check this out. 15 seconds off track. So this might seem crazy because I also have to finish with a lead, but you'll see what happens here. Let's do one more donut, then we'll pull out of it. Secret to doing donuts, you need to have all your assists off. That's about it. And I always race with all my assists off, almost always. So coming up at the first corner, I'm going to turn left. That's right, left. There's a little gap here, and I can take that one. Okay, well, that gave me 2.1 seconds of off track. I love this stage. Do you know why? Because people give me a hard time about my endurance racing where I do endless endurance races, going as long as I want to. And they say, oh, that's not right because you're driving off track and you're never supposed to drive off track. Really? Really? Right now, it's very beneficial if you know how to drive off track. Now, this is not a hard stage. I'm in the lead like now. Sometimes it's hard, and if you don't know how to drive off track, you're going to have trouble. And you might be saying, well, what's so hard about driving off track? The cars don't handle the same. They're handled very differently off track. There's actually a pulsing that happens when you're turning. And so let's get a little bit more off track here. It's not a lot of off track, is it? Well, if I do the same thing again, I will have gotten all my off track in if I do the same thing the next lap. Let's drive off track here. Like, I got a massive lead. So, and you know what? The track will actually join on the left. It's the exit from the speedway. Coming up here just in a bit from you can't run the speedway, it doesn't exist anymore. Right here. If you look behind me, you'll see it. Oh, getting past. Okay. Oh, I got all my off track in. Okay. Something else I'm doing in this particular event is I'm watching my lap times. So I'm going to make sure, people said to me that might be why I sometimes face more difficult bots than other people. So I'm trying to make sure that my lap times also aren't too fast. Okay, let's go all the way back. And I know one of the things I was talking about there was how the game will get more difficult, to get easier, and recommended PR. There we go. So this is a recommended PR event, which means you're going to see this very soon, that they just recommend upgrades. They don't require them. Okay, so in the recent NASCAR Daytona 500 event, that was required PR. Oops, I let him go. Required PR means you can't even enter a race if you do not have enough upgrades. That's also how the many of the series work in this game. It'll say, oh, you don't have enough PR. Upgrade or buy a car that can have higher PR. So, recommended PR events, it really comes down to, 1, your abilities, 2, the requirements. So at a certain point, like if they say speed record event, hit 390 kilometers an hour, can't do that with these upgrades. That's impossible. So then you're just forced to buy more. But then it's also about your abilities. How fast can you drive out of the corners? Because there's a lot to speed. There's a lot more to speed than just keeping the gas down. A lot of people don't realize this. So here, my speed out of Parabolica is completely dependent on how I entered the corner. If you have a bad entry, you're going to have a bad exit, and you're going to be slower on the straights. So here, I'm not going too fast. Oh, I actually should be slowing down more. There we go. I needed that 100-meter lead, but so that's about as tight as I can get it. All right, so let's see here. Probably now, let's check out the requirements. There you go. You see, I'm below recommended PR. So now I can't do bot slowing. All I can do is bot maintenance. What does that mean? That means as hard as the bots are, if I do the minimum, I can keep them there. But this particular race, I have to win. So what I'm going to do is win by as little as possible. So I really paid attention to the opening screen that said I need to hit 351.9. I think that's what it said. Yeah, 351.9. Now, there's going to be a second decimal place, but it's pretty hard to hit it that tight. So at this track, 3 places I could hit that speed. Here I probably could have hit it if I took it right to the wall. Of course, no reason for that. I'm also watching my off-track driving. I don't want to wear down my servicing because we now have no servicing left. So I've got to watch ads to service my car. So I'm going to make sure all 4 tires are on track. Quite a lot here. Now, right here I could hit speed if I would have had better drive out there. I really didn't, and I'm not too worried about hitting speed right here. But you can see I could have hit speed right here if I really wanted to. I was trying to get really close there. Oh, this is going to make this a little more difficult. This is another great place to hit speed. So 3rd place is 351, so is 2nd, and so is 1st place. So you got to be really careful that you don't overshoot it too much. Okay, so I just went into 352s. I don't really want to get off track too much there. I got 1 tire off track, but oh well. And then this hasn't been a very fast lap, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not sure if the game really counts lap times in events like this, but I'm just trying to be careful. All right, so now let's see if they ramped up the recommended PR even more. See that in just a couple of seconds here. Last time I was in the yellow. Ooh, now I'm in the red. They're saying this is getting really hard. So I got to make sure I keep my lap times reasonable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the pit maneuver on the Enzo. Lap 1, oh, missed. There we go. Lap 1's going to be really slow because I started from a dead stop. So lap 2 is where I have to be careful. I don't want to have my laps being, oops, that's really sloppy. Oh gosh, is this sloppy jalopy. Oh well. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure I'm not going too fast, but fast enough to catch that Enzo. All right, Enzo. I was just telling this story to someone else. I once had a situation where I earned the Ferrari, I bought the Ferrari 599 GTO, and I already owned the Enzo. And then a really weird glitch happened, and my 599 GTO disappeared, and I had 2 Enzos. However, it wouldn't let me use, if I raced the Enzo, it wouldn't let me service it. It was really, really weird. And that's where tech support comes in handy. So I filed a ticket with tech support, and they didn't know what happened. And they actually had to get one of their lead engineers to work on the problem for me. It took them many months to fix it, but they fixed it. And they got me back my missing car, and everything was fine. So, it all works out. Sometimes I hear from people that say, a car went missing. No problem. File a ticket with support, and they will help you. And if you ever wondered about how to file a ticket, you can go into the description area of this video where you'll find a link to a video I did where I show you how to file a ticket. It's not very difficult, and it's good to know how to do that. So you can see here at Parabolica, which is the corner coming up right now, I really kind of just coast for a bit. I'm taking it easy. I'm watching how quickly I'm catching up to Santos. I'm really happy to see the name Santos because he was one of the lower bots, and I know that from paying attention to the endurance races, that he's not very high up in the ranks. So I'm happy that I still see him. I forget how long Monza is. Boy, that was sloppy again. Okay, so he's just getting to Parabolica now. Okay. Oh, right now he's at Parabolica. I'm not too far behind him. So I can still keep my lap times because I still have 2 full laps. I was just checking. It says lap your opponent to win. So the second I pass this car, it's over, which means I'm going to drag this out a bit more. Lap time still around 37. That's all right. And here's Santos. I could have even dragged this out more. Okay, well, now what? Well, now I'm going to have a little bit of fun with Santos. And that beautiful Enzo. Ooh, already took out the window. Now I don't want to accidentally pass him. I don't want to do the pit maneuver. I want to disconnect his bumper though. He is losing his bumper. Santos, I'm going to throw you off track at Parabolica. What are you going to do? Woo, he gets aggressively on the brakes. Good job, Santos. Sorry, you just lost the taillight. Oh, you're going to get pulled over by the police, Santos. He definitely doesn't want me to push him. I want to push him. Now, I got to be careful. I want to play around a little bit. I'm going to shove him into this wall, but I got to make sure I don't get in front of him. So I'm going to go left when he goes right. Boom! I'm going to take out his other taillight. He still has one working taillight. I don't want him to have that working taillight. Ooh, don't want to pass him. Come on, Santos, get moving. Oh, look at that bumper. Totally destroyed his bumper. So how many thousands of dollars of damage have I done to that Enzo? I don't know if you want to know the answer to that. Not to mention my FXXK. That's worth... Oops, don't pass him. Gotta be careful. Okay, my FXXK is worth way more than that Enzo. All right. Okay, well, I think I've dragged this out pretty good. Maybe we'll do one more pit maneuver to end this, and I got to make sure I pass them before the start-finish line. I know this track really well, so I know I'm getting close. Let's do it. Pit maneuver. Bye-bye, Enzo. And the start-finish line's right in front of me. So there we go. Now, don't forget to service your car at the end of the day, because we don't have instant servicing. So service that car. Okay, so here we're going to do the servicing. I'm going to show you the upgrades I've got. And I also want to show you, a lot of people wonder how they collect the VP points. I tell people it's automatic and they don't understand sometimes. So I'm going to show you. There's my VP points. Click collect, boom, I just got them right there. And I got my gold. So thank you so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, check out the playlist link.